Here he is. Hello, people. We are live. I am live on my YouTube channel for the first time in absolutely ages. It feels good to be back. Good to see all your beautiful names chatting away in the chat. Honestly, essentially, I've just been getting through used to living here, trying to get the internet sorted, trying to get everything done. And what better time to do this now than Julian Alvarez signing for Manchester City Football Club. It's good to see so many people here. Who we got in the chat? Let's have a look. I missed you all, actually. I just got a tinge of like genuine sentimentality as I saw the names there. I was like, oh, Aaron Brooks is here, Colby, we got Mark, we got Nathan, we got Louis, Robbie, we got G, and Guy is here as well, and Monamela, Sky Blue Monkey, Julio, another Julio, Saya and Naz, Kieran's here as well, Stephen, good old Stephen, Tanai, Eddie, Travis, Laurie. It's good to see so many people. I missed you all too, Louis. I genuinely did miss doing live videos. The reason is I needed to get like a setup, essentially like a desk going on. I did a lot of painting and all this kind of stuff, and I also needed to find my capture card. It was in a box somewhere, dumped in loads of boxes. When you move home, you get loads of stuff. I just lost a lot of stuff basically. Then I found the stuff, and we've had people over, staying in this room and so on and everything. So I'm ready now to do videos again, and I didn't know what the internet was going to be like. Does it look good for everyone? Someone's making homophobic jokes. You already banned from the channel. That's not even funny. But like, why would you do that? But does it look okay, the stream quality wise? It's good to see you all. It's genuinely good to see you all. Hopefully, what I should start doing now, by the way, I finally got an office and a home and all this kind of stuff. I'm going to be going live all the time, like all the time. I won't be doing videos every single day. I want to do live videos all the time, just catching up with you guys. I want to go stream Football Manager and all this kind of stuff as well. I want everything to be perfect, and I think finally I'm at a place where it feels cozy. It's little things like I didn't want to work in it because I didn't have blinds on the windows. It was really cold, and I didn't have like a desk sorted and all that. Yeah. But anyway, Jerry! Big Jerry energy. I've missed that energy. Jerry's back. Let me line that up properly. That's a new editing problem there. Where's he gone? A little bit further over, even still. Where is it? And Jerry's saying, welcome back, mate. Great to see you. Let's fucking go. Indeed. I just need to get that lined up properly. That should be in there. Is it in there now? There it is. It's great to see you too, Jerry. The live streams are back. They are back. I won't be doing a watch on this weekend because I'm at City. I'm doing the City live, so I won't be there. But I will be back in general doing all that kind of stuff. So it's good to see Jerry. Good to see Jerry. It's good to see all of you. This is not updated. I apologise. I will update it. I've just not got around to doing that yet because I've been unpacking stuff. But I will, promise you. I wasn't prepared for how much life gets changed when you move home. Absolutely. Your routine is just thrown into the bin. So it takes a while to get adapted to everything. But now I am. It feels like home. It's good to see you all anyway. But we're here because Manchester City have signed Julian Alvarez, the Argentinian wonder kid, the 22-year-old new Sergio Aguero. Allegedly. Yes, that's also, Jake mentioned, by the way, I forgot I had COVID as well for a bit, and I felt like shit for like 3 weeks. It really brought me down. I had pressure in my ears, so I got into the house, and then I got ill, and then I couldn't find it. I had to pay and everything, and yeah, it's just been one of those things. But nearly 2 months here, and we're back. Alpha, yeah, I'm back. It's good to see you anyway. Don't forget to hit the like button. Let's get it. Let's talk about football, because I've talked nothing about myself, but I wanted to explain where the live videos have been and all that kind of stuff. And it's nice to come back and talk about a new signing with you guys. I mean, this is a really interesting signing. I mean, someone's just asked, Sad Boys just asked how much is the signing. I reckon it might only be about 15 million apparently, genuinely around something like that, which is really interesting. I mean, between 15 and 19 million, what I've seen quoted. But either way, it's not a lot of money for Manchester City. It isn't. That amount is interesting. As I said in my reaction video, and hopefully you've got that reaction video, which is going to be a lot more condensed, a lot more focused than this one. Get that open in a new tab if you've not watched it already, then go to that in a bit. As I said that though, that price is the interesting sweet spot between not too cheap to be a City Football Group signing, or not too expensive to guarantee it isn't either, if that makes sense. We don't fully know yet how this is going to go. I do reckon he is here for the first team. I do reckon we're going to see him around the first team and all that kind of stuff. It'll just take a little bit of time while he adapts to when he comes and when he adapts to Manchester City's I think he's a first-team signing. That is the thing. I saw some tweets from Sam Lee. I'm going to get Sam Lee on tomorrow to have a chat about this, but Sam tweeted, let me find it. Sam tweeted along the lines of... Sam said, Alvarez is a signing is very interesting and intriguing. Some at City are warning that he's more of a City Football Group signing, but those more closely involved in the deal say he's very much first team. He's ready now, but also somehow not. It depends on some signings. That's interesting, that, isn't it? So we don't really know what his status is going to be yet with Manchester City. Personally, I don't think you sign an Argentinian forward who scored loads of goals and played in a Manchester City style, like a Gallardo style, and put him as a CFG signing. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense in my opinion. I think he's too good for that level. He should be too good for that level. It reminds me more of Jesus. It's a bit more of the Jesus level signing where, as good as he is still got a long way to go, and he will be down the back of the pecking order. It's like Jesus and Torres. It's somewhere in between that, where obviously Torres came from a better league than both of them, but he was obviously had to get him back in the squad and try and force his way in. I think Jesus had a bit more experience when he joined. He was like a regular starter for Brazil when it happened, but I think it's more of that level. I think it's more along those lines where it's between Jesus and Torres kind of level. And obviously it doesn't mean he's going to start, but it means he might get a squad role. And I do agree with Robbie. He's definitely more developed than Keiki. He's definitely much more developed than Keiki. And of course he isn't the next Aguero yet. You know what I mean? He's got potential. There are similarities in how they play and all this kind of stuff. But he's miles off that, man. He's miles off that. And I agree with Guy. He's not going to go loan to like Girona or anything like that. He's too good for that level as well. And I just can't really see why City would sign this player, with all this potential, and then just loan him out. It doesn't make sense to me. But maybe it will be. To me, the interesting thing is how long he stays at River Plate. I mean, we have loaned him out, I guess, technically, but you know what I mean, keeping him where he is. Like, I don't think he should stay another year there. I think it's too long. Because the problem for me is if he stays until January 2023, which is a year from now, he's not going to get into the team until the 23-24 season. And at that point, he'll be closer to 24 than he'll be 23. You know what I mean? Which is it's a lot older at that point. I don't really see it. I don't really see it personally. I feel like... I don't want him to wait that long because if he came in January 2023, so a year from now, we all know he'd sit on the bench for 2-3 months. Of course he would, because he'd have to adapt to the way we play. And then come the big games at the end of the season, we all know Guardiola essentially just trusts familiarity, doesn't he? Guardiola only wants to use players that he trusts at the business end, and I think he would essentially end up being the backup guy in the way that Ferran Torres, despite having some good games, was still the backup guy. So essentially you'd have nothing until the 23-24 campaign. Yes, Ali. But I don't really see it, man. I think he needs to be around Manchester City, and I think that's the right thing to do personally. We'll have to see. Won't we? But I that's the sweet spot for me. That is the sweet spot. Really is. Get the likes up, indeed, if you don't mind. I agree with tonight. I said, how are we going to get 58 likes? Let's get to 150 likes, if you don't mind. Is even better than Braff. God, I forgot he was a footballer anymore, mate. He's another one. He's had an awful bad luck, hasn't he? We'll have to see how he goes. I'm interested to see what it means for Delap. Delap will be really interesting. This is my controversial opinion. I feel like Delap's had it could be really bad news for Delap, this, unfortunately, because, he's just had an awful lot of bad luck. I can't help but feel this should have been his chance to make a name for himself this year. Like, imagine if Delap had not had any injuries. He would have been involved in pre-season. He probably would have played the Community Shield. And we've had so many young players on the bench this season, the likes of Wilson Esbrand, McAtee, Palmer. Who else has been on the bench? An awful lot. Lavia. We've had loads of players. He would have been involved. And I think because of his physicality and because of last season, like Cole Palmer, he might have been more involved than some of those. So I feel like he's just lost a year of his career. So we'll have to see. It's going to be really, really interesting to see if he's actually crushed his chance, Delap, to make a name for himself at City. He might be asked to get a loan next season and see. Guys, I also want to quickly say, by the way, I'm working with football prizes. Let me bring this up on screen right now. See this here? Do you want to win a Manchester City signed and custom frame shirt? Of course you do. These guys are genuinely legit, by the way. I've done loads of work for them. I speak to Bill, the owner, quite a lot. He's a lovely guy. It costs there, as you can see, $5.95 to enter. But it ends tonight. So if you want to win a shirt signed by the whole squad, I put a link in the description. It is a sponsored post, of course. It's signed by like Foden, De Bruyne, Sterling, Diaz, Guardiola, and all that kind of stuff. So if you fancy taking a punt, there's only 99 tickets available. So you got 1 in 99 chance of winning this. Go to the link, by the way, right now. It's a signed City shirt. I would love to have that there on the wall. Imagine that right there. That'd be lovely, wouldn't it? Alas, that's not going to happen. But that would be lovely. It would genuinely be lovely. So if you want to win that, link in the description below. Good people over there. Wonderful people. They really are. I've been chatting to them loads. They're really nice. I've done a few things with them before. And I know City fans who've won this stuff as well. So it's legit. So there you go. There we go. Signed shirt available to potentially win tonight. If you want to enter, $5.95 is the entrance cost. 99 tickets. I think like 40 have sold so far, something like that. So you got a good chance if it doesn't sell out. Anyway, go and do that if you want to. I've definitely pressed the wrong button there. What am I playing here? Oh, I played something over it. I didn't mean to do that. I apologise. Boom. I played the wrong video. We should learn the lap championship we can, maybe. So some people, yeah, probably. I think it might be. So some people have asked, what's his playing style like? Alvarez's playing style, look, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and pretend I was an expert or anything like that. I'm still not an expert. But I obviously, as soon as you link to it, given what I do all day, you know, I sit and watch football videos pretty much because this is my job, I guess. I watch an awful lot of them. I really like his playing style. I like it because it is raw. And what I mean by that is I like it how he's got an unrefined style in the way that Tevez had an unrefined style. That competition, by the way, is not UK exclusive. For what I can gather, they will ship abroad. So and this year, you're good to enter from abroad as well. But what I like about Alvarez's style is combative. And I love forwards who are all bustling energy. And I love forwards who really... oh, that Rusty even. Yeah, there we go. Is that Patrick? And this is a Rusty stream. But I love forwards who can really make things happen. You know, a bit of bullishness to his game. In the way Aguero would just go on these little dribbles and bundle past a few people. Or Tevez did that. It's a very Argentinian forward to do that. It's from a league that's so blessed with technical ability. You do get a lot of wiry little forwards who love to run at people. And I like his style. He's a little bit more go and get him than some of the forwards. And I like that. He's got an engine, as Louis just said. Yeah, he has got an engine on him. He seems to work hard. He likes running at people. That stuff to me matters. I like a forward who's got a little bit of a bit of bite to his game. You know what I mean? A bit of zest and a bit of energy and ferocity. That stuff matters to me. And of course, he's very technical. He can score goals of all qualities. He can play in the wing as well, as Roberts just pointed out. That stuff really matters. I'm going on City's website now, by the way. I'm going to have a quick look and read some of the quotes. Cheeky has been talking. He said, Julian is a player we have monitored for some time. He's capable of operating in a number of attacking roles, and we firmly believe he's one of the best young attacking players in South America. I'm so happy we've managed to bring him to Manchester City. I really believe we can provide him with the right conditions to fulfill his potential and become a top player. You're not wrong, Cheeky. You're not wrong indeed. They say you've been watching for a while. I think most people have been watching for a while. Yeah, genuinely, he seems to be a really popular player. Like, I think obviously United were linked quite heavily at one point as well. I think the what's it called? Burrito. I accidentally called him Burrito on my on my match reaction video. Not match reaction video. Burrito is their chairman, and he said, let me find it. Something like, he said, here you go. River Plate president Jorge Brito said, for us, it's a pride that one of the most important clubs in the world in Manchester City has been interested in a player like Julian Alvarez, who's trained at our club since 2015, represents the way of playing and coming out of our lower divisions. It's a milestone that marks the beginning of the link between River Plate and Manchester City, which we hope will bear much fruit for both clubs. I really like that, by the way. This idea that Man City have just like dealt with it. This is the thing, by the way, can I just say? So we talk about people have a go at Cheeky and they have a go at him. Listen to these words from one of the most important clubs in world football. River Plate are a historically huge club. We have pride that we are linked to one of the most important clubs in the world. It hopefully marks the beginning of a link between River Plate and Man City. This is Cheeky. That is genuinely what he does. You can genuinely talk about he doesn't get some stuff done. Maybe he doesn't every now and then. But what he does get done, he forms these connections because he's such a very likeable, very well-connected person within this industry. And we overlook that side of it. But this, like linking up with someone like River Plate, there's no way that won't bear fruit for us. And likewise for them. I hope, I'd love to see how it links back to them. Maybe they'll share scouting reports. Maybe occasionally we'll see them get, the odd player on loan from us or something like that. I don't know how it's going to work. But either way, what I do know is that link up is really interesting because they are an historic club with world-class talents coming through the academy very, very often. So I'll see. We should have signed Ramsey this window. I don't think so, Brillo. I think he's a bit older. Shoko saying, Argentine clubs are in a shit economic situation. Of course, happy to collab with us. Yeah, maybe they are. But either way, whatever has happened has happened. No one else has done it, so ultimately that's all that matters. Well, City signed Darwin Núñez, as asked Robert. Apparently, West Ham bidded 50 million for him today, which is interesting. So maybe not. Maybe they'll get him. So we'll have to see now how Alvarez goes. I mean, I want him to come in July. I think if he gets a pre-season, that'll be really, really useful. I can understand if it doesn't because he wants to, safeguard his future in terms of getting into the World Cup and all this kind of stuff. But I still want him to come. I think it's going to be really useful. Someone just mentioned McAtee. McAtee's going to be really interesting, isn't it? Because obviously McAtee, Alvarez blocks McAtee. He does potentially. He's a very similar role. I know he's not a forward, McAtee, a striker, but he's another attacking player. And if he was going to get minutes, it'd be as a winger or something like that. So McAtee, yeah, it isn't good for him. The updates, I've not heard any specific updates personally, but I saw rumours going around that he might actually sign, extension and all this kind of stuff, which would be lovely. Obviously, we want him to sign an extension. McAtee's a fantastic young player. But these signings potentially do stop that. I mean, it is what it is. I'd love to see him on loan, but also at the same time, if they want him to stay around the first team and learn from Guardiola, I kind of have to respect that too. I have to respect it. But this is going to be really interesting. I am excited for this transfer, by the way. I really am. I'm very excited. I cannot wait for it. Legand. James, good to see you, man. It's been ages. Legand's on the screen. He's been a member for ages. Hey, James, it's good to see you, man. It's very good to see you. Absolute legend. I miss doing live videos. They're back, I promise you. They're absolutely back. Anything in the know? No, Brillo. No. I don't know anything in the know. I've heard some rumours, but nothing major. Let's get to 100 likes at least, by the way. Come on, we can do that. And the subscribers as well, where am I at? I've been hovering around 60k for ages, and because I didn't do any videos for ages, obviously. Yeah, that was kind of my fault, really. So I've been going slow, but please hit that subscribe button. So we'll have to see basically how Alvarez goes. I think we really should be excited by this. Not every day that you're going to sign a player with Julian Alvarez's profile. It's really interesting. It's a really interesting signing. It's a fun signing. It doesn't mean he's going to play for the first team. I don't think he's going to be a CFG fan personally, but I'm really, really excited. Oh, Godley is coming with a massive super chat. Thank you so much, Godley. Absolute legend, man. Look at that power in that super chat. Fucking, there's only one, Godley. You're absolute legend, mate. Thank you so much for the support. I massively appreciate it. I'm skinned, so thank you. Genuinely skinned. How's this cost a lot of money? That's one thing I'm learning. So thank you so much, Godley. They really, really do, man. They really, really do. It costs you a lot of money. I'm devastated in pain at the moment, money-wise. So thank you so much. Godley said, as much as I want Haaland as that big striker, I believe that we'll go for Harry Kane again. A lot of sources believe his preferred destination is Real Madrid. Alvarez and Kane wouldn't be too bad. Yeah, that's an interesting one, man. Maybe we will go for Kane again. I saw some suggestions today that we wouldn't go for Kane today, which would be interesting. I feel like the Haaland thing with Real Madrid does feel possible. There was some potential rumours going around that Madrid aren't might not be able to afford Haaland given the bumper wages that they're about to give Mbappe. So they might want him to stay at Dortmund for another year. There was also some suggestion that they wanted to have a really long contract, which Haaland was a bit put off by because he doesn't want to commit to like 10 years or something stupid like that. So it's going to be interesting to see how it goes. I am not that optimistic on Haaland at the moment. I think we've not really seen much positive about it other than City want him. But everything does feel very Real Madrid bound at the moment. We'll have to see. Uwu in the chat disagrees and thinks he's going to City, which I hope you're right, mate. We'll have to see. But Godley, that's a godly super chat. Thank you so much, man. Kane to me is, I don't want Kane. Not because he's not great. We might go in for him, but I just kind of want us to move on to someone younger. Personally, it's just a preference, personal preference. Alvarez, though, to me, I mean, I'd be happy with Alvarez in Dalat, but I'm a heathen, so don't trust me at all. And Patrick, thank you so much, Patrick. Side note, really like the soft tone and the theme of the room so far. Yeah, lots to do with the room yet, I'll be honest. I'll quickly show you here. I'm going to get a big shelf there. It's going to be a big shelf there. It's going to have all, your typical YouTube stuff, like a neon light and all that kind of stuff, and art and plants and shit on there. And eventually, see all those posters there? Just not put them up on the wall yet. Random stuff. That mirror will go. There'll be shelves. Some city-related stuff will be in the background. Don't worry. But, I couldn't do it blue because it's technically a guest room as well. So I wanted to make it all blue and stuff, but it has to be livable. And I kind of wanted it to make it a more friendly room for the colour of that leather sofa bed. So I know, I'm sorry, it ain't blue, but it will be. But thank you, Patrick. We're going for a very soft kind of earthy tones in general in this house. It's not fully my house. You know what I mean? So I've got to respect the room. I've got to respect the colour scheme. But it isn't red. It isn't red. It's not. It's like an orangey terracotta-y. It's not red. It's going to put it out there. It isn't red. All right. But thank you, Patrick. I'm loving all this kind of stuff. It's good to be doing this again, man. I absolutely missed it. It's good fun, this, man. It's good fun. Any thoughts on Keiki? Yeah, I got a lot of criticism for saying I wasn't sure if he's going to make it at Manchester City. Not because I don't think he's good enough, but what I said actually is I think he might struggle to. Not that he won't make it. And I got stick for saying that. And I didn't mean he won't make it. I just feel like I was pointing out how hard it is to do this, and we probably should be realistic. Like, breaking into Manchester City's first team is fucking hard, man. Like, I think McAtee's a better player, and McAtee's nowhere near the first team currently. He's really struggling. And so that's not to say you can't make it. It's more that I feel like it's going to be really difficult. But having said that, Keiki has been getting better and better for the EDS. He looks like a good player, man. He looks like a good player. Check the Twitter. People tell me to check Twitter. Let me have a look. What's been going on? So, Alvarez is... Okay. Let me try and get him up on screen. Here we go. Now, I'll just leave it here. Julian Alvarez's agent, Fernando Hidalgo, who's been speaking. So, the idea is that he goes to train with Man City after July. That's interesting. That's from his dad. No, his agent. Is it his dad? Yeah. No, it's not his dad. I'm sorry. I don't know where I get that from. I apologise. That's not even close to true. His agent has said that he goes there. He said Julian Alvarez is not bought by the CFG. The sale is directly to Manchester City from club to club. If River passes the round of 16, the Copa Libertadores, he can stay. In July, it'll be seen what is best for all parties. That's interesting. I hope he doesn't stay there. He said, I've heard many who said that the City Football Group has bought him, but no, Julian was not going to accept it. If he left River, he was for something better. Negotiation went from club to club. So there we go. He's a Manchester City signing. He's not a City Football Group signing. He's a Manchester City signing. And the idea is that he comes to play for Manchester City. The Copa Libertadores thing is interesting. I don't know why he would wait a year to play for Manchester City. Mainly because you don't know how long Pep Guardiola is going to be here for, man. You have to see. That's interesting, though. There's a confirmation that he is a Manchester City player, not a City Football Group player. That doesn't mean, of course, he'll go straight into the first team. It doesn't mean that at all. They could still loan him out, you know what I mean? City have signed players before, then still loaned him out. So we'll have to see. Back to Keiki, by the way. Someone said he's a kid. Maybe in 2 or 3 years he could. Maybe Jake, but you got to bear in mind, he's not that young. He's 19, so he's not like 17. If 2 or 3 years, if he's not in the first team, he's not going to be in the first team at all. Because he needs to be in the first team next year, really. Otherwise, he'll get loaned out. So we'll have to see. It is their Champions League, and it is a big deal. I agree. But for the sake of his Manchester City career, he should come and play in the Champions League instead, in my personal opinion. Like our Champions League as a Manchester City player is more important than theirs as a Manchester City player. It just is. Like, if he wants to be a career at Manchester City, get around Guardiola. That is my personal take. Get as close to Guardiola as you can, Julian. If you're somehow watching this, I'm sure it means loads to you, but you do not want to miss months and months of training with Guardiola because he's the greatest manager in the world, the best coach in the world. Learn from the best, man. If Pep signs an extension, maybe you know something I don't, but learn from the best. Look, for me, if I got a chance to, I don't know, I think of a vlogger that I like. I loved Casey Neistat, the vlogger in America. If someone like, in the summer, you can go and learn every day from Casey Neistat. Or you can wait until January because you got to do some other streaming. I'm like, no, I'm going to fucking learn now because I don't know when he's going to stop making videos. It's that same thing. When you get a chance to learn from the best, you take it as soon as you can. That's my personal take. So I hope he joins because he'll be playing the Champions League instead of a couple of Libertadores. So We don't talk about who replaces Pep, David, because that's never going to happen. He's staying forever. Please stay forever, Pep. Please stay forever. I don't even like the idea of him not being around. It's just fearful. Brillo, if he wants to play for the Libertadores instead of greater than Pep, I just don't agree. I'm sorry it does, but don't sign for another club now then. Like, just wait until you're ready, you know? That's my personal opinion. He's wasting... Look, playing the Champions League, I don't know. I guess what I would say is, the context is, if he wants to play in Europe, I'm sure he does, but I still think it's naive. I think it's naive, personally. Can you check on Aubameyang news? There should be no... What do you mean? There's no City Aubameyang news. Oh, they're going to Barcelona, isn't it? I get the importance of the Copa Libertadores, but I still think it's naive. I think the context of his career, he should be looking to play under Guardiola as soon as possible. That's literally it. I won't ever sway from that opinion. Like, you don't play for sign for Manchester City and decide to wait for a year to play for Manchester City. I don't get what that's going to do. He'd be 23 at that point. He's not even that young at that point. Like, just crack on, man. Just crack on. I don't see it personally. It just doesn't make sense to me. He's losing a lot of development time. 6 months is so much in football. It's so much in football. Well, the thing is, David, that season's not even started yet. So, like, I don't get why you'd wait. The campaign's not started. So, it literally hasn't started. So, you can't, like, get attached. As soon as you sign for this, he's essentially accepting, in my opinion. If it was mid-season, I would get it. But it's not. He's going to start a season and then try and finish it. That's what I don't get. I don't understand if there's attachment, but at this point, after signing, I'd be like, I've accepted. I've accepted. Yeah, it's loyalty doesn't mean it's a clever decision. You know, loyalty can be a naivety, can't it? So many people are loyal to bad ideas all the time. So I admire it to an extent, but I also think it's naive, and like, I don't know. It could be that Guardiola's gone in 6 months after that then. Ayanda said it was their term of agreeing to the deal with Man City, otherwise they'd look somewhere else. Nah, I'm pretty certain if City said, we'll give you an extra $1.5 million, $2 million, they would have said yes. I'm sure it's part of the deal, but I don't think it was a good deal. Why are you all talking about Dele Alli in the chat? What's going on with Dele Alli? Is he going? He's going to Everton, is he? Bailey's gone back to Leon. I just saw that now. I'm scrolling. So Everton have got Ali and Van der Beek. Okay, that's interesting, man. Exactly. Josh Wilkinson said, "Look at Roberts. He could have stayed in the Pep, but he got lost in Scotland." I guess what I would say, right, is you've got such a short career and you don't know when a manager's going to go. Like, Pep could literally still leave in a year and a half from now, he's only got a year and a half left currently his contract. If you wait Alvarez until next year, it could be that he's got a few months of Guardiola. Guardiola might just decide to go at any point. For me, I wouldn't take that risk. You know, I would want to play with De Bruyne. I would want to learn from De Bruyne and people like that, and Gundogan. I would want to learn from all those people personally, because they might not be there, you know. I would want to get in and around, and what's to say, like, I don't know, imagine Cole Palmer really kicks on, or James McAtee kicks on the next year or two. All of a sudden, he's got to get ahead of them as well. You know, imagine just Jesus has a breakout season or something like that, and then he's got to get ahead of him. You just don't know what's going to happen. Like, and imagine City signs someone, a striker, in June, and all of a sudden, you know, he scores loads of goals, but Mike Palmer becomes a great false nine. Alvarez could be the back of the queue a little bit more then, and like, I don't know. That's my personal opinion. Like, yeah, I understand his loyalty, but we'll have to see. Yeah, I get that Malemo too, but yeah, I get the World Cup bench, but you know, what does he want to be? What does he want more, to play in the World Cup or in this World Cup, or make it at Manchester City? I think he does want to make it Man City. Otherwise, why would you sign for Manchester City? He's got to be your future club, man. That's got to be the most important one. They'll pay you wages. That's my maybe naivety there. Yeah, United were after him, weren't they? They were after him, and they're disappointed. I can't believe Dembele has gone to Spurs. They've absolutely mugged them off there, haven't they? So they sell him, get loads of money for him, and then he goes back. Delapi's not overrated, Arvid Bratt. I think you're absolutely wrong. He was fantastic. Did you see his stats last season? 29 goals in 24 games. He was a brilliant striker. just got injured. I think he's a fantastic striker. Like, any club in the world would take him. Any club in the world would take him as a UC player, of course, and a prospect. But there's literally not a club in the world you wouldn't take Delap as a young player. Got a lot of improvement to do. Who doesn't at that age? But I think he's brilliant. But doesn't mean he's going to make it because of injuries and all this kind of stuff. If Alvarez breaks through, I think it confirms that either Mahrez or Sterling leaves. Too many forwards now. We'll have to see. We have to see. We'll have to see. I mean, that's the thing, is there's a very big chance that someone like Jesus. I wouldn't be surprised in a year and a half if one of Mahrez, Jesus, Sterling is just not here anymore. You know, there's a real chance for that. Genuinely a chance. And that's going to be really interesting to see how it goes, isn't it? Like, I'm hoping that they are, you know. But there's a good chance that... Because, like, Mahrez, how old's Mahrez now? Mahrez is 30. So he's 31, next month. So he'll be 32. He is probably Brillo, but it's more just that obviously the contract situation. So Mahrez will be 32 at the end of next season. So there's a good chance he won't be there. His contract, obviously, is... I think he's got a bit of time in his contract left. I think, he's got a year and a half left, Mahrez. I don't know. Jesus could be like, I'm going to play first team football somewhere. I can imagine just Jesus at, like, Juventus or something like that, or Bayern, and doing really well, weirdly. Like, maybe he'll go to Dortmund. He'll go somewhere anyway. We obviously Jacob Cancelo left back. What are you on about there? I'm not really sure. Aubameyang to Barcelona is off. Why were they going for him anyway? He's genuinely... he's done. Aubameyang's done, in my opinion. Absolutely done. What a weird potential signing that was. Ali with Lampard is going to be really interesting, Dele Alli. It's going to be really, really interesting. Oh, it's going to be interesting. The Walker thing was really frustrating as well. I feel like there's loads of news I've not chatted to you all about in ages, but I'm going to try and keep on top of it now. So, obviously, we've not been live together for ages, you lot. So, like, chatting about City now, it feels like a pleasure, a genuine pleasure with you lot. But we'll get back on top of it all. Yeah, Barca are a mess these days, man. Their transfers and I don't think they've got the money. All they're doing is just... they're stockpiling average players that are going to cost them a lot of money to get absolutely nowhere. And all they're doing is kicking that can down the road in terms of their finances. Like, genuinely, they're going to struggle. They're going to struggle to make it, really. Like, I feel like they're going to have a bit of a breakdown again in a few months. About a year or so, they'll have a breakdown. So we'll have to see. Barcelona. Yeah, I don't know what you mean by that, but yeah. Stephen, who's your money on to sign for striker this summer? I don't even know. I really don't know. I have no idea. Because it looks like it won't be Nunes. It could be Haaland. I don't know. I have no idea. Look, I don't even know who I want other than Haaland. That's the thing. It's just I don't think there's a great market around for strikers at the moment. I mean, there's a lot of very mid ones. I think there's a lot of great talent about. I mean, Felix is a really good player for what it's worth. I kind of want like a proper number 9. I mean, I really like Felix. I think he's a fantastic player. I think he'd learn under Guardiola an awful lot, and I can't help feel his future would be dependent on a couple of years of Guardiola. He's a good player. I mean, for what it's worth, by the way, most players that we've been linked to, people like Dybala, he's a really good player. Is he a great player? I don't know. Would he be great in Man City? Probably, because we improve people. With Vlahovic, he's no longer a City player, of course. He's at Juventus now. That never was a City player. But, no longer a City target. We've been linked to Schick, which is interesting. I'm not sure if he's good enough, really. Is he just another? He might be, but he doesn't feel like a world-class potential striker, does he? He doesn't. To me, he doesn't. Anyway, he's 26 years old. He's had a bit of a late spurt. Is he 26? Yeah, he's 26. I don't really see him anything more than another Andre Silva, personally. I'm sure anyone would do well, but we'll have to see. Either way, I don't think there's lots of great strikers. I mean, personally, Abu Bakr has asked me about Delap. I really like Delap. Personally, what I'm hoping is that Delap gets a loan next season, scores 30 goals somewhere, scores 30 goals somewhere, and then actually shows that he's ready to be an option at Manchester City, and then bulldozes his way back in, because I think he could do that. I actually think he could do that. I think Dele Alli, if he'd been fit and firing, and played a whole season in the Championship, would be on 20 goals by now. I really believe that's probably true. And we'd be like, God, this guy's good, actually. Imagine him in a good team. That's how I feel. Lewandowski or Haaland in the summer? Well, I want Haaland, obviously. Lewandowski, I would take Lewandowski for a year, because who wouldn't? Because he's fantastic. I wouldn't mind that for a year while we waited for a younger striker. We'll have to see. What happened with Doyle and Howard Bellis? Howard Bellis didn't get into the team that often at Anderlecht, and he's gone to Stoke. Is that right? Is it Stoke? Is that Howard Bellis? I think he went to Stoke, and he's doing well. He's playing really well at Stoke on loan. And Tommy Doyle had gone to Cardiff, and Cardiff fans love him. So he couldn't get a game in the second tier of the German football. He might be in the Championship, it's probably be a higher level, and he's doing really well at Cardiff already. So they're both good footballers, and they'll both be Premier League players. At what level, I don't know, but they will be Premier League players, and you can't do much more than that as the academy, you know. We are not far away from a squad rebuild, Jack. I agree, but we'll get there slowly, you know. Possibly Jacob with Sterling. We'll have to see, man. We'll have to see how it goes. Sterling could go. It depends if he signs his contract, really. It depends if he signs his contract. To be honest, Jishu, we're not really that great with our loan players usually, in general. Our loan hit rate's really quite low, but it looks like so far we fixed the loans anyway. Like, for what it's worth, by the way, like Howard Bellis played quite a bit. He played quite a bit Anderlecht, but then got dropped. And that's not a bad thing for what it's worth. Like, part of the development is sitting on the bench every now and then. The Doyle one went terribly, but I would say Doyle's probably more focused now because of how it went badly in Germany, you know. So you got to look at the positives from this. If a player all of a sudden doesn't get into it on the next one, you got to see how they react. And it was only 6 months, of doing nothing, but at least he would have learned a new culture. At least he would have been focused on all that kind of stuff. So there are positives and negatives to this approach, So I look at it that way, Howard Bellis, though, he's played plenty of football. Blackburn went over for him. He's at Stoke and he's playing well. Finley Burns as well has gone low to Swansea. We'll have to see how that goes. We don't need a rebuild, says James. Jesus is a diamond. People forget how young he is or something like that. Is that what you said? He's not that young anymore, is he? Let me just check his age. I don't think he is that young. He's 25 in a couple of months, so he's not that young, mate. It's crazy we think of these players as really young, but Gabriel Jesus turns 25 in a couple of months' time, so I'm not really convinced he's that young anymore, mate. He wants to be. He's not a talent anymore. He's not a young player. He's in the middle of his career now, essentially. Cole Palmer for me absolutely is a potential first teamer. Like, I see him as essentially a like for like replacement potentially. Well, he's not. He's only 24 now. That's obviously Jesus, but in April he turns 25. Yeah, so yeah, he's not young anymore. But for me, Cole Palmer is a like for like Mahrez replacement. I think he's potentially could be even better, genuinely, and that's a hell of a claim. But I guess what I mean by better is more suited for Manchester City, not necessarily a better footballer, but more of a Manchester City player, because Cole Palmer has the same attributes in terms of wicked whip. Finish. I think he's probably a better goal scorer than Mahrez, actually. I think he is. He's always been a great goal scorer. And he can beat people one-on-one really, really well. He's clinical. But I think he's more used to a passing game of football than Mahrez was when he joined, because he's been doing this at a young age. So I think he could be a more Manchester City player than Mahrez ever was. And I love Mahrez. I think he's fantastic. No, I think he could be one day. I think he could be. I believe that, McLovin. And I explain the context. I mean, as a Manchester City winger, I think he could be even more suited. And that's not because I don't think Mahrez is fantastic, but I think for the first, he's always been like a very different City kind of player, Mahrez. So we'll have to see. You say 25 is young when defending Grealish is 25. Yeah, I guess what I would say is Grealish is 25 and come from Aston Villa. Jesus has been here for like 5 years now, so he's not young anymore as a Manchester City player. Age is it's not contextual, but their age of their career and with the status that they're at, he's got time to improve. I feel like Jesus has not really improved at all at Manchester City. I don't think that's unfair. I feel like he's been basically, if anything, I think he's not quite as good as when he first joined. I like him, Jesus, but he's not exactly kicked on, has he? he's not exactly kicked on, and he's been here for 5 years, you know. So I wouldn't say his Manchester City career, in the context of it, he's a young player anymore, you know. I wouldn't say he is personally. It's obviously they're both the same age, you know, this kind of stuff. But I'm on about the context of who they are and where they're going in the career and all that kind of stuff. So we'll have to see. But Jesus, I think he's a good player. I think he's probably been worth the 30 million that we spent as well, something like that. He was best part of 30 million. Either way, he's probably got that value out of him, almost certainly have. But obviously, we want him to be an 80 million player by now. I don't think he has been. I don't think he's become that, unfortunately. But I like him. I still like him. Don't get me wrong. But I just think we wanted probably more from him overall. So I have to say. Maybe I did, Andrew, but I remember his link-up play was excellent when he came. Remember his link-up with Sane and Sterling and his liveliness and his dribbling and all that kind of stuff. I think he was fantastic, and he's definitely slowed a little bit on that front, so we'll have to really see. But guys, I'm going to leave it here. It's good to see you. I'm going to be live tomorrow and the day after that. I'm going to try and constantly go live. It's lovely. Lovely to chat to you all. Go and watch my reaction to the Alvarez signing. Open the tab right now. Hit the subscribe button. Go check out this competition if you want to. Football prizes. It's ending tonight. You want to win this Manchester City shirt here. A signed shirt by all the 2021 players. That's quite ridiculous, that, isn't it? A signed shirt ends tonight. Anyone can enter from any part of the world. It will ship to anywhere. Good luck if you do enter. It's good. It's a good prize. Guys, thank you for watching. I miss doing live videos. It was an absolute pleasure. And get me to 60k, man. Look how close I am there. Like, look how close I am. Look at that. Where is it? Oh, I've moved the wrong thing there, Paxton. You're all awesome. Like, comment, subscribe. See you, Alvarez, and I will catch you soon. Go watch my reaction. Bye-bye. You're all beautiful.